when we talk about someone who's established as you, who's arrived so many times, you know what I'm saying? You may have 10 Grammys, but it's hella nominations, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You talk about 39 number ones. That means you've been that guy. That means you've been out here doing what we could assume to be the best of the craft, right?
Yeah.
Why love Renaissance?
I'm also a person that really believes in evolving and learning every day, right?
Okay.
And working with Justice specifically on the Division project was like a breath of fresh air for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I like to learn, and I think out of all of my peers, I think we can agree to this. Out of all of my peers, I think I'm probably the one that's the most outside. You know what I'm saying? Like with Ladies of R&B Party, with me doing my DJ stuff I do around the whole world. Me, you know, I'm always on somebody's podcast talking about something. Like I'm involved with young artists. There was an era, right, where, especially in Atlanta, where the mainstream stuff wasn't cool no more. Like I didn't want to go to Compound no more. I didn't want to go to none of them clubs no more. You know what I mean? So I started hanging out, you know, on Edgewood, hang out on Ponce, doing parties at spots like L Bar, and they're like, Bryan, what are you doing here DJing at L Bar? You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was about I needed to go where the energy was.
Break the other mold, right?
Like I needed to go where the energy was. Like I just couldn't do, especially when that period was a lot of R&B had clubs were all trapped out. The music was just trap. You know what I mean? And that's when we transitioned from the club scene to the lounge scene. It was became all sections. And I was like, yo, I can't do this. Where are the people partying at? Right. You know what I mean? And I go to places like Department Store, go to Sound Table. Yep. I was doing all vinyl. You know, I started doing that type of stuff because it's like, where are they partying at? I started doing parties at the Groove, and you know, I started rocking with just a whole crowd, a different crowd of people. You know what I mean? I remember I took Jermaine to L Bar one night, and he was terrified. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it was, you know, but at the end of the day, it was like, oh, you actually brought Jermaine over here. You know what I mean? So it's. I
feel like I went.
Yeah, I think you might have been with me.
I think I came with y'all one night.
I think you came with that.
That was my first night. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is a whole nother space right here.
And I'll be promoting these spots. People are like, oh, what is Bryan doing over there? For me, it was about connecting with whatever new energy was happening. Right. Because the energy that we are grown accustomed to has shifted so crazy. And you know, now you can't even. Like, I'm like, yo, I'm not paying $5,000 for no section, man. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it had gotten that ridiculous. Like, all right, yo, all right, AG, man, you my man. I'm not coming down here no more. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I think that is what put the battery on my back to say I want to. Like, I got inspired. You know, you got somebody. You got to find inspiration. You know what I mean?
Yes. So, artist. When you talk about artist development, I like to go back to that because the work ethic. I think these artists do not have a work ethic that we had back in the day when we buried ourselves in the studio or buried ourselves in the work. I think they're going to mumble a couple of verses out now instead of sitting down writing them and getting really detailed. Will y'all guys change that over?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's for me, like I believe like the artist development and the artist process is like raising a child. And you only get away with how much you're allowed to get away with. So it's just like if your circle or people around you like aren't like pushing for excellence, you know what I'm saying? Like you're obviously gonna pick up bad habits.
Yes.
So that it's really just that. So it's just like for me in the artist development process, the first thing that I really care about is for the artist to find out, you know, who they are, what's their point of view, and why they need to exist. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of artists just want to make music, but they don't have a point of view and they don't know how to communicate exactly what it is their purpose is. And like I feel like that's the first part that we figure out, and then we get into the fundamentals in terms of like learning how to record properly and perform and all those things. It comes with it, but like there's a through line, and the through line is like, what's your why? You know what I'm saying? That purpose. You know what I'm saying? So like I think for us, it's trying to find that, and then once you are able to find your why, once things get difficult in terms of like, oh, I'm tired or I don't want to work hard, you remind them what that why is, because that's that purpose and that's that battery that they have to put in their back. So yeah, I mean, I think once we, you know, kind of just go through with them on that exercise, it becomes better.
Mm-hmm. And I think that artists now, because they have a lot more access than we had coming up. You know what I mean? You can just be independent when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like it took a lot more effort as an artist. Like if you're an executive, you start a company, that's a whole nother thing. We had, we saw a lot of that coming up. But as an artist, to say, yo, I'm just gonna start writing songs, I'm gonna start making my music, I'm gonna put it up on on the platforms. I want to start, that's a different kind of grind. So I applaud artists, who are able to grind that way, because they're utilizing their assets, like a Brent Fayez, who like doesn't, like he's been independent his whole. I mean, he started in his room and built from there. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, I think I can definitely appreciate a person who looks at these platforms and say, oh, I can really take advantage of these opportunities.
So as for these people that may be looking for opportunities, where are those people at? How can they?
I was just about to ask.
I mean, Instagram. I mean, just like Instagram, Twitter,
TikTok.
Email.
So y'all ain't going to like the open artist showcase.
No.
I want to keep it as real.
Yeah, come on with it.
You know what? I want to do those. Like, I want to actually have like talent shows and like really curate them.
Yeah.
But like, I think finding the right partner to make sure that it gets out to like people that are just outside of our circle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, like, I believe in like finding talent like next door.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about. I mean, all our successes come from Atlanta. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're Atlanta based. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like there's so much talent here. I mean, it's like a natural resource Atlanta is.
Yeah.
So,
You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because we like last night we was looking at some stuff last night, and we was like, what's her natural voice? This person was doing all the Instagram stuff and all pre-recorded stuff. I was like, okay, what does her natural voice sound like? You know what I'm saying? Like, we want the raw.
Because
You
I
know
was
what I mean?
I was just piggybacking off her question, Ms. Shani, because I was wondering, like, what are you guys looking for in an artist? Because, like, I see so many artists who got, like, they look down, they movement. It's like I've seen some artists walk in, I'll be like, yo, they got their business. Like, it look good, they pulling up right. I mean, the artist drip properly, got a team around them, and then you hear the music, and the music is like, all right, it kind of sounds like the last 72 songs I heard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
what do y'all look for?
it's funny because we talked about this last night. For me, what I'm looking for is authenticity. That's the first part, right? Like, actually being true to yourself. The second part is like a vocabulary. Like, can you actually? When was the last time you read a book, right? Like, like it's really important. And the third thing is an artist that's emotional, right? Like, I think that everybody wants to like be so cool and so tough and unfazed. And I'm like, no, in order to be an artist, you have to be emotional. You have to convey something that I can't say.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an artist. I have to live vicariously through you. So like, those are my three things. I don't know how about you guys.
No, I mean to add on to that, I think being an artist, there's a certain space to be vulnerable, right? You look at all of our top artists, whether it's Beyonce, whether it's Usher, whether it's a person like Brent Fayez, whether it's SZA, whether it's Summer. I think that the one common thread is that all these artists are vulnerable. You know what I mean? They're in a space where they're talking about things that may be uncomfortable, right? But they're expressing it, and they're storytelling. Like I was saying, we were talking about SZA, we were talking about Summer last time. I was like, what separates them from other young artists is that their stories. You know what I mean? That women connect to them in a way that's really incredible. You know what I mean? When you look at it. So for me, it's like basic vocabulary, storytelling, like really, really get into it. And and the women in general in R&B is kicking everybody.
Oh my
kicking
God.
everybody ass.
Not even
You know what
fair.
I'm saying? Like, in real life, you know what I mean?
So would y'all sign an unattractive artist? Would y'all sign an ugly artist?
Yeah.
Because we never asked. It's certain questions never asked.
Yeah.
See, he looked at me like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, no. I mean, because
who you say?
because
What about a woman?
yeah, because talent. Listen, talent is talent. Talent is talent.
How you trying to tell
It's
us
like obviously, you would want, obviously from a commercial aspect of it, you would want, everybody that checks off all the boxes. But certain people just
got
they cut through, right? Like emotionally, like how they convey, their voice. It just could be a one of one, and you can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't be that person to not give that an opportunity. Not everything. What I realized is that not everything is supposed to be the biggest thing in the world. Not everybody's supposed to be a superstar. But a talented artist or artist that like needs to convey what they have to the world needs an opportunity. And I think that's just what we're here to do, right? Like,
exactly.
like we understand who's going to be our superstars, but we also do understand who just needs an opportunity to be able to share with the world. Yeah.
Now, for artists, that right there will be in the developmental package coming from Lvrn Designs. That was media training. So I asked him, would you sign an ugly artist? I mean, we think as long as they can you saw that? That is called polished.
Ugly people, like
that is polished.
Beauty in it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
Like, I think you can find it.
That was a trick question. That was to show how well thought out these guys are, how polished they are, and the understanding of their true reason, their mission is to help people get their experiences out through their music to convey their message. And that's what's most important a lot of times. So most artists who are really in it for the artistry and not just the success of being an artist, I'm getting paid. People have stories to tell. You know what I'm saying? I sat in a hospital room just yesterday with my brother, and I walk in the door, he already know what time I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
So instantly he gives me the representative he thinks that I want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't want to hear that guy. That guy been lying to me for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the truth. What's why are we here today?
Mm-hmm.
And through his message, I heard his pain, but I also heard the frustration that's causing his pain.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, this is some issues that we need to address. So I say that clearly because sometimes it's just about that passion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys giving people the proper vehicle to display that, to give it to the world. So again, man, I just want to say big ups to you guys, man. I feel it's a big story that you guys have teamed up. I was like, damn. Because I'm going to tell you what I really said.
What?
I said, that is amazing. In a short period of time, this small boutique company, this label, Love Renaissance, has made such an impact in a very short run that you could get someone who's had a lifetime of success to come on board with you and continue the process of winning. And that stood out the most to me in this situation. So, man, I got to say kudos to y'all.
Thank
guys.
you. That's love. I appreciate y'all.
And ladies and gentlemen, again, if you're just tuning in, we have the one and only Bryan Michael Cox in the building and Justice Braiden. They've teamed up to join forces. Bryan is the new. Tell me your title again. I like the way you said it when you came.
Senior Vice President A&R, and Executive Producer for Love Renaissance Records. You know what I'm saying?
Because it matched the little salt and pepper beard. Senior Vice President.
Wisdom. It's wisdom.
I was like, okay, so
It's wisdom.
B-COX don't look young for so long that if he didn't have the beard right now, I'd be like, B-COX, what you doing? You took something. You ain't aging yet.
Yeah, man, a little wisdom.
Shout out to talking about don't do that. He sprinkled up over a little salt and pepper too.
You might be painted this afternoon though.
Again, I want to take the time to say thank y'all, man. Congratulations. And let us know.
Yeah.
And we tapping in tomorrow.
Yeah, you come to the show tomorrow. Division has a show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Vision has
At
to show.
I'll
Tabernacle.
make sure we in the building for Division. Shouts out to my boys, man.
Yeah,
Them
we're
boys be
doing
kicking.
we're doing after party at Rare Martini for Ladies of R&B with Division 2. So
Cox is outside.
You slipped that in there. You slipped it in there.
Got to.
I ain't mad. Hey, Steve Solo, you know what I'm saying? I ain't do that.
That was me. I take full responsibility for that. You know what I mean?
I just love, man. Much more success and congratulations again. Hey, y'all, make sure y'all stick around for more. We're going to be keeping y'all in the know with what's going on right here with Young Jock in the Streets Morning Takeover.